Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today's video will be on diet and skincare. I noticed that a lot of people try to fix their skin issues with a product first. But oftentimes the best way to actually treat your skin is by changing your diet first. So the reason I say that is because I used to be one of these people and it was just something that I was completely ignorant to. Similar to my videos on sunscreen, a big part of being proactive is actually taking into consideration the nutrition and food that you consume. You have to think about your skin more holistically. It's not just about what products you put on your face, but what you're also eating throughout your day. So I thought that I would only have acne when I was a teenager, but actually a lot of adults, including myself, had this problem as well. So I'm going to cover 3 points in this video. The first is what actually causes acne. The second one is how does diet actually play a role in that. And the third one is how do I start to have an anti-acne diet that will help me get the good skin that I want. So I'll give you guys the quick summary of how you can have an anti-acne diet. The first one is to have a diet with a low glycemic load. The second point is when we think about what fats to consume, we want to be looking at products with more essential unsaturated fatty acids. And the third point is to try and limit milk proteins, simple sugars, and salt in the diet. So the first point, what exactly causes acne? So the 3 points I'm listing are not exhaustive, but they are pretty common. So the first one is genetics. Genetics play a pretty big role here. According to the research, if both parents have troublesome acne, there is a 50% chance that their child will also be affected by this problem. The second is that hormones, high levels of free androgens, and low levels of estrogens or dysregulated thyroid hormones are often also a cause in acne. And the last one is simply having some sort of skin infection or disease may also be a source of acne. On to point number 2, how important is diet and what role does it play? So what we eat undoubtedly affects our body in many ways. It has been proven that diet affects our endocrine system, the composition and amount of sebum created, and also inflammation and our microbiome. So we can see that the first 2 points are really closely related, and that's why it's important to have an anti-acne diet. So point number 3 is how do we start to build a diet that will fight acne or try to prevent acne? So the first is to try to put milk products away. There are many studies that confirm the relationship between the consumption of dairy products and the severity of skin eruptions. The reason can be found in the fact that milk proteins raise insulin levels, which can increase sebum production. And personally for myself, I recently found out that I was also lactose intolerant, and I think that was also making my skin a lot worse. And I basically used a food diary to track what I was eating and found that lactose and dairy products seemed to be the underlying factor to some of my skin problems. And once I found some replacements for those, my skin actually improved a lot. So I would recommend to you to try to have a food diary and track what foods you're having. And maybe it's not just milk products, but some other products that you are reacting poorly to. And try to see if over time, if you remove these products, does your skin actually get better? So every person is going to be different, and it's not a one size fits all, which is why I think that a food diary is a really good option for you to try to get to the crux of what exactly is the problem in your diet. The second part of having an anti-acne diet is to try to balance your glycemic load. So the tagline here says stop eating sweets, especially chocolate. The biggest problem with these types of foods is that they have a very high glycemic index, which means that when they are consumed, insulin is released into the blood very quickly. and there are many studies and observations that directly link high GI products to acne. It has been shown that a low GI diet can reduce inflammation. However, it's not just sweets that are high in the GI index. You also want to be wary of limiting the consumption of fruit juice, white flour products, and also small growths and grains. So for myself, I try to replace the simple carbs in my diet like white bread and regular pasta with whole grain alternatives that are known to be lower GI food. And there are some other foods as well, like fast food and processed foods that also are very high in GI that you want to be careful of. And the third part of having an anti-acne diet is to be cautious of the types of fats we are consuming. Products rich in essential fatty acids like omega-3 fatty acids, these are actually very desirable in an anti-acne diet because they'll fight off the acne. There are many studies saying that people who consume large amounts of EPA and DHA after 10 weeks notice a reduction in the amount of acne lesions by 50%. So the groups of fats that we should be avoiding are trans fats and saturated fats because they are usually higher in GI and generally don't have a lot of nutritional content, just not so good for you. And so these are commonly found in fast food, processed foods, many ready-made meals from supermarkets. For me, that would be foods like instant noodles, white bread, like I was talking about, fast food like McDonald's. That's all more likely to cause acne in the skin, so you want to avoid those. Just a reminder that acne and your skin is a very complex thing, and diet is only helping to alleviate a part of that. You have to think of it holistically. So I'm not discouraging the use of skincare products, but I'm saying that all these things have to work in conjunction.